Okay, let's talk about deploying a report. First thing you need to do is make sure you're configured properly. So we want to go into into the Start menu, Microsoft SQL Server, Configuration Tools, and you want to pull up the Reporting Services configuration tool. And you want to connect to the instance that you want to deploy to, the SQL Server instance. You want to make sure that it's started, and there's going to be two URLs. There's a web service URL, and you get to name this, and I would recommend putting the words web service in the name, because there's also a report manager URL, and I again put the words report manager in the name of that one so you can easily identify which is which. And it is the web service is the one that you're really going to want to need here. So you can just click on this and it'll take you there, but I've already opened a window. So this is the web service one, which is very generic looking because this is the one for programmatic access. And then you have the report manager URL, and this is the user interface that the users will use to navigate the reports and such. And as you can see, there's no reports on this server yet. We're going to deploy one. Okay, so we want to copy this. This is the web service one. And we want to go into the configuration for our project. Now notice here I have a solution that contains an analysis services project and a report services project. So you want to make sure that you select the report services project and right click and hit properties. And then on this target URL, that's where your web services URL goes, the one that we copied from there. And you need to make sure that the target version is your version, and if you don't see it in the list, make sure you hit detect version. That's what I did. Okay, so once you're set up, you can then right click on the report that you want to deploy and hit deploy. And it should deploy, and we're done. It finished. So that means we can now go back to the web manager. Well, we can actually see it on both websites. So if we hit refresh here, there it is. That's the folder for our report, and there's the report choose director, and this is the user interface website. Well, I'll hit refresh, and there's the folder. The folder was one of those settings for, if we go back to this, go back to properties, see there's a target report folder, and that will be created on demand. You can type whatever you want here and that'll get created on demand. You don't have to create that folder ahead of time. Okay, so let's go back. So here's our report. It's in a folder. Well, here's our report folder, so we'll click on the folder. Now here's the report. It's called choose director, just like it's called choose director here. And if we click on that, that should open the report, and it does. And we can choose a director. Let's choose Ang Lee. And just like when we preview inside Report Services, we have to hit this View Report button. And then there's all the award-winning movies by Ang Lee. So that's how you deploy one of your reports to the report server. Any questions, leave them below.